Welcome to our first casted game of the main event here of the Winter Championship for EGC TV. This is Demuslim playing as the French, ranked number 1 and 2 on the ladder for quite the last few weeks with 2 different accounts, versus my brother Fitzyhere playing as the English. And obviously a hard route for my brother here, round 1 in this tournament. Both of these players actually former StarCraft 2 players, Demuslim being one of the top pros for StarCraft 2. My brother actually got his first start in streaming and competitive gameplay playing StarCraft 2 back in the day, being in Grandmasters for quite some time. So I'm sure he's probably matched up against Demuslim before, but it's been a bit. Now, both these players, of course, preparing for today's championship games with the total prize pool being $20,000. There's a lot at stake, and all of these games today are going to feature the best of the best of the best of Age of Empires 4. And it sounds like Fitzyhere banned Boulder Bay and Mongols, and Demuslim banned the Holy Roman Empire and Ancient Spires. Now, I would consider my brother to be at a bit of a disadvantage in this banning system, and I've been kind of really torn on how this works with the tournament. But essentially, Fitzyhere has been a HRE 1 trick for the most part on the ladder, reaching I think like around rank 40 on the ladder, which is how he got seeded into this event. But when you play a single civilization or have a main civ per se, that results in it being very easy in a tournament scenario for an opponent to scout you out and ban your best civilization. And the reason why this exists is because you have the option to ban Mongols or even, Rus in the previous balance. But honestly, I feel like this ban system it punishes players who have mained the non-top of the top S tier meta civilizations, right? Because if Fitzyhere had been grinding Mongols, like I know Demuslim has played a significant amount of Mongols, and I cannot blame him, obviously, in the tournament scenario when people are using them, but it puts him at more of a disadvantage because it's kind of assumed, as we've seen in previous tournaments, that Mongols are going to be banned anyway. So Demuslim wasn't probably counting on even playing Mongols in the first place, but Fitzyhere probably was planning he wasn't going to use his HRE, but this is also the dangers of one tricking and, some of the issues. Like in my tournament games, in Salami's tournament games, and in Snoop Buzz, we all couldn't use Delhi, which has been a civilization that has had issues in the past months, and we've mained them against all odds. Fitzyhere has mained HRE despite them, not being able to have bracing spearmen and a broken prelate and other things. But now you see this best civilization unfortunately banned. And I guess my point to end my rant is, wouldn't it be nice to see top tier players going toe to toe with their very best civilizations? Unfortunately, maybe it would be Mongol versus Mongol right now, but I don't know. That's something that makes me a little bit sad. Let's talk about this game. Demuslim with the French. He is aging up with the School of Cavalry, so he can obviously bring those marauding knights up against Fitzyhere's English. I haven't seen Fitzyhere play a ton of English, but he's obviously been practicing the civilization. I know the Magic School Bus loves playing English in all of the team games that they play together. If it's here starting with the Council Hall, which will train those longbows. So the trick here, what he's going to be wanting to go for is a spear and a longbow mixture, right? Because the knights and likely archers are going to be coming in, right, for the French, because you have the knights and then the archers to try to pick off the spearmen. So it'll really come down to unit control if this feudal age pressure starts here in the second age. You can see Demuslim's already gathering that wood. He's going to be ready to drop down that archery range, certainly right on time, bringing in those sheep. Now, let's see. Fitzyhere is the sheep lord himself, doing some very nice scouting. Look, he's set up around his opponent. He did get 2 scouts early on, and he can see what's going on. Now, look at this. Demuslim's gone for this hunt, gone for the early advantage of the gathering range of these deer without doing that's a little bit of a walk, but he didn't go for the professional scouts yet, which obviously you can do in the second age. He still could do it, but I think we're going to see more players doing this now, because before you would just get professional scouts so easily and bring those things in, but now there's more players going for the closer hunts versus trying to steal your opponent's hunt from across the map. Since they changed in the recent patch, scouts will run slower when they have deer, so that means you can actually counter them. So very interesting, to see that there. Okay, there we go. Fitzyhere and Demuslim in the H2. Fitzyhere is rallying the longbows across, but the question is going to be... will those knights meet them before he gets a spear out? Now, look at this. We got a bit of a skirmish, a little bit of a cancel war. And I know Demuslim's a pro at this cancel war. Now, this is a villager. It looks like... Oh, no. This is really bad for Fitzyhere. He was going to try to build a forward a forward tower outpost so that he could get that network of castles going for that speed boost. But his villager taking a lot of damage. And the question is, this knight could easily come in and pop this villager. But... a very, very good macro from Fitzyhere. He got this barracks down either in transition or right as he hit the... I think he got in transition. So he was ready to hit the ground rolling here with Spearmen, which is very important because you assume French are queuing up their knight. You have to have Spearmen out on the field or your longbows aren't going to be long for this world. Okay, now the good thing is Fitzyhere knows that he's gathering on these deer, and maybe he could pressure them with longbows. Let's see if he's doing it. He's got a scout just kind of keeping an eye on situation back at home. Where did that knight go? I saw a knight, but where the hell did it go? Oh, here it comes. Sneaky, sneaky. He's going for the gold. A lot of players would do this, by the way. Pro tip. Target your enemy's gold mine. There's, guaranteed to be villagers there, whether or not you actually get the hit. Okay, so harassing the wood line. Here comes the gold. He is going to pop that villager. Look, there he goes with that charge. 3 hits. If he had his upgrades, this would be a 2-shot on that villager. But there we go. 1 villager down. Fitzyhere pushed off gold. Not a huge deal. You don't need a ton of gold unless he goes for his upgrades. So not a big deal, but he does lose a villager and does need to deal with this knight at some point. Okay, but here we go. Longbows moving in on Demuslim's villager line. Can he pick one off so he can even the odds there? Low health, half HP villager, but it does survive. And let's see if there's any more hits back here. Just sieging down. I think he's going to chill over that knight for a while. But there's a nice little longbow mass coming out here. Fitzyhere can control his units. He has 1 tower down out front. He could maybe push Demuslim off this food, but Demuslim has gathered most of it already. We got a few scouts and a knight there in the mix. He needs to keep the spearmen alive, but spearmen taking damage. 1 spearman, half health, down goes spearman. Only 2 spearmen left. If he loses these, we've got a knight here that he's going to have to reckon with. But the longbows, microing onto the longbows. Very good unit control here from Fitzyhere. In come the spearmen to block those knights. He's got more reinforcements on the way, and he's going to hold us just fine. This is honestly an okay. Oh, keep the villager alive. Keep the villager alive. This is a play here for Fitzyhere. He's got his tower likely going up. He still has to finish this with a low HP villager. Has a good longbow mass. Depleted a lot of Demuslim's archer mass. And he has some spearmen backing up his army. That knight's still just chilling there, not doing a whole lot. There we go. And harassing some villagers. Hasn't picked one off yet. He has some low health HP villagers, but they're still alive. Kiting back to his tower, which is almost complete. Here comes the spearmen. And there we go. That outpost is going to come in. He's going to get to this network of castles bonus, so he gets attack speed. There we go. He needs to engage. There we go. Archers taking some damage. The spearmen getting up on that scout, but that knight has full HP, and that's going to be the real issue here. Where's his spearman? Oh, no. He has missed some spearman cues, and that could be certainly deadly. What does he do here other than run around? Oh, man, this would have been such a good cleanup with some spearmen. He does dive in the castle, or I'm sorry, in the outpost. I don't know why I'm trying to call them castles today, but honestly, losing a few longbows, he's got some pretty decent value. Took out a lot of archers. I don't know. Let's look at the military graph. Let's see. Okay, Demuslim has lost more units, and likely... I don't know if he's lost any knights yet, though. Has he lost any knights? I know he's lost some scouts. He's doing a good job keeping them alive. Let's see if he goes for that. Okay, he does have his blacksmith tech with French. Automatically, you can see here, get their attack bonus when they build that. It's a civ bonus. They don't have to research this. They automatically get it. So it makes those knights very, very powerful. Here comes the spearman. And this is definitely something that I've fallen in this trap before. When you play longbow, you have got to keep your spears alive in this matchup because you can have a good longbow mass and a single knight can do a lot of damage if your spears are dead. He needs to pick some of these vills. Obviously, French trained villagers a little faster. He's up 3 vills right now. Some low HP ones. Demuslim, really, honestly, having a lot of courage here, right? Because, he could pull the safe option and pull those guys back in, knowing there's longbows around. But now, this is a not very favorable trade. And once Demuslim gets the archer advantage, that's when thing really gets to be trouble. Because then you can't engage with those spears. You're just the archers. Look, here comes the villagers to siege down that outpost. Demuslim going all in on this. I would like to see Fitzyhere maybe even just pick off these low HP villas, but he has to back up. There's all of these archers, and at this point, he is going to have to have a luck, some kind of a misplay by Demuslim in order to kill. There we go. A villager going down, several longbows going down, essentially for free. And the thing with English, once you stop their initial pressure, it is often GG, because let's look at this. Villager count 35 for Demuslim, 31 for Fitzyhere. I think he dealt with that knight. I don't know where that knight went. Oh, that might have been the returning knight, possibly. Oh, a spearman dying for free, trickling in there. Unfortunate. But he needs to get these numbers back up. And Demuslim is, I just don't think a player that you're going to be able to afford, losing your army or getting behind at any minute. It could be enough. Demuslim's not going to, is very good at not losing his lead. Okay, so he's got his outpost, which will give him that network of castles bonus. He is kiting back. He's going to get some few shots, but this is a significant army from Demuslim. I don't think Fitzyhere can even stand and take this engagement or even kite. Now, I thought those were spearmen. Wouldn't it be nice if those were spearmen, but that is a boar. Fitzyhere going for a big play here with that boar, and luckily, look at this. The knight ran in right into the spear. A bit of a misplay by Demuslim. I just said he might not make any mistakes. That was huge. Knocking out that knight. He now has longbows with the outpost. He can take out a few of these archers. He can survive for now. And to be honest, if he can get this boar food, that would be a quick boost to his eco. Let's see if he's gotten any eco upgrades. Doubtful. No, I think that's his first mill. Yeah. Now, oh my gosh. Demuslim's out here. Oh my gosh. Imagine if Fitzyhere scouts this. This would be huge, because Fitzyhere at least can see him coming across the map, has second to react. Demuslim's really off on the corner. And sorry, I just was flying around on the map because there's just so much going on. I don't want to miss. I'll do a better job. Yes, he did get 2 knights in that last engagement, but the spearman taking some damage. 3 spears. He does have 4 spears up against 2 knights. He needs to keep these spear numbers high, as I've mentioned, but the longbow numbers crawling down. Oh no, spearman charging forward, and I think he's trying to get him to tank some damage, and then he's going to dive in. There he goes. But now those knights move in, and good micro with that tower. The tower is sometimes hard to micro. Spearman on top of the knights. This is a good situation. He does scout these villagers, but the longbow number is decreasing at the moment. Man, our arrow slits would be paying dividends right now if he had it. But the problem is these archers are going to survive. The knights have been just basically running around, and he's going to have to pull these villagers and pull idle time. Where's his army? Oh boy, not like this. This is looking grimmer and grimmer right now for Fitzyhere. He does have a few units inside that outpost, but we have villagers being chased down. They will get 2-shotted. Now, English villagers, they can fight, but I don't think he knows. You don't want to go up against armored units like this, and Fitzyhere taps out in round 1 of this best of 3 with Demuslim taking the victory here. English playing his French versus Fitzyhere's English. But we'll see what round 2 has in store. Let's take a quick look at this timeline. Looking at the economy, you can see there Demuslim doing a really good job outgathering his opponent. The biggest thing when you're up against French, they outscale you in villagers because they train faster. So you can really see that there. They have a ton of bonuses. And frankly, I don't think English's bonuses outweigh the bonuses that French have. I think French is a stronger civ in this matchup, but obviously Demuslim having a significant, let's just say, ranking or ELO advantage. Let's head into round 2 of the series. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you leave a comment below. Root Fitzyhere on, and I'll see you guys in the next one.